Iraqi Dinar today latest news, a tremor has run through the global financial community, originating from the very heart of the Middle East and resonating in capitals worldwide. This moment has seized the attention of millions, electrifying conversations from the bustling souks of Baghdad to high-stakes trading floors in London and New York. The recent pronouncement from the Central Bank of Iraq (CBI) has ignited a level of anticipation and scrutiny that the narrative of the Iraqi dinar has not experienced in many years. What we are witnessing now is not the echo of old rumors, nor is it the circulation of speculative chatter that has plagued the dinar story for so long. Instead, it is a genuine, undeniable wave of foundational and technical developments being broadcast directly from Iraq, and the implications are being felt with surprising speed and intensity across the international financial landscape. This is the clearest indication yet that the nation is transitioning into a new economic chapter. For anyone who has dedicated their attention to the long, complex trajectory of the Iraqi dinar, or who has pondered when and if the much-discussed resurgence of its currency would materialize, the information emerging in the CBI latest update may well represent the most critical signal to date. It is imperative to absorb every detail, as the collective weight of these developments suggests a fundamental turning point in Iraq's economic destiny. The global reaction, measured yet undeniable, confirms that the world's most influential financial entities and analysts are giving this their undivided attention. We must meticulously dissect this information, approaching it with clarity and a calm, objective analysis, so that the monumental scope of today's news is easily understood. The core of this story is built upon a statement so definitive it demands immediate focus, signaling a profound shift in national strategy. The foundational element of this significant shift began with a remarkably assertive and confidence-filled declaration emanating directly from the Central Bank of Iraq. This kind of bold language is exceedingly rare in official communications from such a cautious institution, and consequently carries immense weight. In their most recent official release, the CBI explicitly conveyed that the Iraqi dinar is now firmly advancing into a new, crucial phase characterized by recovery, sophisticated development, and, perhaps most importantly, heightened international acceptance and recognition. The statement went further, asserting with unmistakable certainty that the dinar would reclaim its deserved standing within the intricate structure of the global economic order. Such forceful and aspirational terminology stands in stark contrast to the CBI historically measured and guarded communication style, where every word is chosen with precision. The deliberate choice of such potent and forward-looking language is a calculated move that sends an immediate message, compelling the entire nation, the banking sector, international stakeholders, and everyday citizens alike to pause and pay serious attention. The atmosphere across Iraq has noticeably shifted. One can almost feel the tangible rise in energy and expectation. Major media platforms instantly began running urgent updates. Local merchants and business owners engaged in pointed discussions, and the digital sphere exploded with thousands of concurrent conversations within minutes of the release. The central question resonating everywhere is whether this marks the pivotal moment for which Iraq has been systematically preparing, and if the long-awaited strengthening of the dinar is now imminent. This collective sense of heightened anticipation is not a fleeting trend but a powerful, growing sentiment that shows no signs of dissipating. The impact of this news within Iraq has been nothing short of transformative. A brief visit to any public space, a coffee shop in the heart of Baghdad, a busy marketplace in Najaf, or a commercial district in Basra will confirm that the CBI announcement is the dominant subject of conversation. Financial institutions are reporting a significantly higher volume of public inquiries from individuals seeking authoritative clarification regarding the dinar's future trajectory. Simultaneously, currency exchange houses are dealing with an influx of clients who are no longer asking speculative questions, but instead engaging in serious discussions about exchange rate expectations and whether a major revaluation is finally on the horizon. This spontaneous and widespread public reaction is the most powerful evidence that the people perceive a genuine, systematic change is being implemented behind the scenes, and that the process is now irreversibly underway. Crucially, citizens who may have maintained a degree of healthy skepticism in the past are now engaging with the news closely, their vigilance turning into anticipation. Conversely, those who have long held hope for a national financial resurgence feel a palpable sense of momentum, believing that their long-term aspiration is transitioning into reality. Perhaps the most telling indicator of all is the overarching sentiment. The prevailing mood is characterized by excitement and genuine optimism, not fear or uncertainty. For the first time in an extended period, the Iraqi populace is discussing their national currency with a renewed and profound sense of pride. This shift in collective public attitude, moving from caution to confidence, may be one of the strongest, most fundamental indicators that the financial foundations are solidifying and that the nation is ready for the next step. One of the most revealing and structurally significant components of the CBI communication is its direct correlation with Iraq's multi-year initiative toward comprehensive digital transformation. Over the recent past, the central bank has been engaged in a sustained, intensive effort to modernize and fully overhaul the nation's entire financial infrastructure. This extensive project encompasses the development of state-of-the-art digital payment systems, the implementation of robust electronic settlement mechanisms, adherence to stringent global banking compliance standards, and a massive investment in cybersecurity upgrades across the board. These actions were neither arbitrary nor temporary measures designed for short-term fixes. They were, in fact, strategic prerequisites, and the CBI is now explicitly articulating their precise purpose. The purpose, as the CBI now confirms, was to prepare the entire national apparatus for the introduction of a significantly stronger, more stable, and internationally credible dinar. For any sovereign currency to achieve global functionality, particularly in cross-border trade and investment, the operational backbone must be rigorously tightened, fully synchronized, and meticulously constructed to meet the highest global benchmarks. This is precisely the critical behind-the-scenes work that Iraq has been diligently executing, often outside the glare of public scrutiny. The CBI is no longer being ambiguous about its ultimate objectives. The central bank is now openly stating its commitment to restoring the dinar's intrinsic value, and the recent massive infrastructural and technological upgrades serve as concrete evidence that the entire financial engine has been primed for an event of major significance. Further adding to the body of evidence is a powerful data point highlighted within the recent announcement: the status of Iraq's foreign currency reserves. The country now commands a reserve exceeding $100 billion, a staggering figure that positions it ahead of numerous nations in the Middle East and many others across the globe. The significance of these substantial reserves cannot be overstated, as they furnish the nation with immense power to support and effectively stabilize a strengthened currency. Deep reserves provide a central bank with the critical capacity to sustain public and international confidence, seamlessly manage any necessary exchange rate adjustments, and ensure the market remains perfectly balanced and resilient throughout periods of major monetary transition. This fortified financial foundation is precisely the bedrock required before any sovereign nation can successfully execute a major currency revaluation or restructuring. Iraq has dedicated years to methodically building this formidable financial safety net. Now, with the reserves securely lodged at historic high levels, the country's financial leadership appears to be signaling that the time for advancement is finally at hand. The impeccable timing of this strategic buildup of reserves aligns seamlessly with the timing of the CBI latest high-confidence announcement. prompting financial observers worldwide to intently speculate on the significant details Iraq is preparing to unveil in the immediate future. Another key component in this unfolding monetary strategy involves a subtle yet important operational shift: the strategic reduction of the largest denomination banknotes within the normal cycle of circulation. For several months, financial institutions and currency distribution hubs across Iraq have consistently noted a steady decrease in the handling and availability of the largest notes, specifically the 25, 0, Euro 0 and 50, 0, Euro 0 dinar bills. These large denominations were initially introduced and necessary during the prolonged periods of high inflation and intense economic stress the country endured. However, as Iraq's political and financial stability continues to dramatically improve, the practical necessity of these oversized notes has significantly diminished. In most modern and robust economies, the prevalent use of smaller, more practical denominations is a common indicator of a stronger, higher value currency. The process of strategically withdrawing larger notes is a textbook step employed by nations in preparation for a fundamental strengthening of their monetary system. It symbolically heralds the commencement of a new financial era, one in which citizens and businesses will rely on bills that are proportionally aligned with a healthier and more potent exchange rate. The convergence of this observable physical trend with the CBI explicit confirmation of future monetary instruments makes this development a critical point of focus that is difficult for any serious observer to ignore or dismiss as mere coincidence. Moving beyond domestic mechanics, a major focal point in the central bank's new direction is the aggressive push for the dinar's reestablishment in international settlement systems. This represents a monumental change. For years, Iraq was heavily reliant on the US dollar for virtually all cross-border financial transactions because the dinar lacked the necessary infrastructure or international recognition for widespread use in global trade. This is rapidly changing. Iraq's comprehensive digital banking reforms have successfully integrated its financial institutions with expansive global networks, rendering the dinar significantly more compatible with international transaction systems than ever before. This is far from a minor symbolic upgrade. It is a profound structural alteration designed to support global commerce. When a sovereign nation begins the elaborate process of preparing its currency for full compatibility with international trade and commerce, it sends a clear, unambiguous message. The government anticipates and expects that its currency will be perceived as substantially more valuable and trustworthy by the world's financial bodies. International financial analysts have already registered this strategic groundwork. While the CBI deliberately withheld revealing any specific new exchange rates in its announcement, the depth and scope of the foundational work being described strongly suggests that the nation is closer to a major, pre-planned monetary transition than at any point in its recent history. Subtle but concrete changes are already being observed within the governmental sector in Baghdad. It has been credibly reported that certain government departments have received internal notices indicating that future salary structures may be reformed to exclusively utilize dinar payments, thereby phasing out the use of the US dollar entirely for public employees. This proactive measure is intended to deeply solidify national trust and confidence in the local currency. Furthermore, it serves as a powerful signal that the government is fully committed to having its populace rely solely on the dinar, effectively reducing dependency on foreign currency alternatives. In support of this impending shift, several key ministries have initiated detailed training programs designed to prepare their staff for necessary adjustments in digital payment systems, new electronic banking protocols, and updated financial procedures expected to be implemented soon. These are not the preparatory steps a government undertakes for minor, routine financial updates. These are the logistical and administrative preparations that precede a significant, systemic monetary event, indicating that the final implementation phase is now within view and being managed with extreme diligence. One of the most powerful and immediate responses to the CBI updated strategy has been the palpable resurgence of optimism among the business community across Iraq. Shopkeepers, restaurateurs, real estate professionals, and transportation sector companies are all openly expressing rising hope for the future. Many of these operators vividly recall the years where economic volatility and uncertainty made long-term planning almost impossible, when pricing was a daily struggle, transaction systems were outdated, and reliance on both the dinar and the dollar was a necessity simply to keep operations fluid. Today, however, these business owners report a clear, renewed sense of financial direction. The serious official discussions regarding a significantly strengthened dinar have actively restored confidence in local markets. Individuals and entities that had previously hesitated to commit to long-term investments are now actively reevaluating their positions. Those who had postponed plans for business expansion are once again exploring new opportunities. Furthermore, many small and medium-sized enterprises are feeling hopeful for the first time in years, believing that a stronger national currency will introduce price stability, dramatically reduce their exposure to volatile foreign currency fluctuations, and ultimately serve as a catalyst for sustainable national economic growth. This collective change in business sentiment is a powerful force driving the market forward. The ripple effect of the CBI pronouncement is perhaps most clearly evident in the daily operations of currency exchangers and financial service providers. They are reporting an extraordinary spike in public interest, with customers increasingly inquiring not only about general exchange mechanisms, but also about advanced digital payment solutions and the specific timeline for expected rate adjustments. This sudden surge in activity is the classic behavioral indicator that the public firmly believes a meaningful and tangible event is approaching rapidly. However, a key difference noted by financial professionals in Iraq is the qualitative shift in public discourse. They are receiving fewer inquiries based on groundless rumors and more legitimate, factual questions. This transition towards an informed curiosity is an extremely positive sign. It demonstrates that the general public is not reacting out of fear, but rather out of a constructive sense of anticipation and a desire for clarity. It also strongly suggests that the public trust in the Central Bank of Iraq's official direction and strategy has markedly improved. As this crucial public trust continues to rise, it significantly strengthens the foundational support required for a successful and stable currency transition. The professional and informed nature of the current public dialogue suggests that the nation is collectively prepared for the next stage of financial development. What amplifies the significance of this moment is the unprecedented level of focused international attention that Iraq is now commanding. Financial analysts and prominent observers across regions like the Gulf, Europe, and North America are meticulously tracking these developments. This interest is not fueled by ephemeral hype. It is based on the immutable fact that Iraq is a major, influential player in global oil production, regional energy partnerships, and the wider Middle Eastern economy. Consequently, a substantial shift in the intrinsic value of the Iraqi dinar has the potential to cause significant cascading effects on global import markets, established trade routes, and international investment strategies across the world. Many of the world's most prominent foreign banks rely on sophisticated, real-time rate monitoring systems that are programmed to automatically update the moment a country announces any new official currency value. Therefore, if and when Iraq makes the decision to officially adjust its exchange rate, the entire global financial community will become aware of the change within a matter of minutes. This technological reality is precisely why international financial entities are watching with such rapt interest. The establishment of a stable, robust, and strengthened Iraqi dinar has the potential to fundamentally reshape and revitalize economic relationships throughout the Middle East and beyond its geographical borders. Paralleling the financial movements is a profoundly important surge in national pride currently building within Iraq, particularly as the central narrative shifts decisively toward economic empowerment and away from historical dependency. For an extended period, the low value of the dinar served as a painful, visible symbol of the extensive struggles and systemic challenges the nation had faced. Legacy of conflict, political volatility, and crippling financial strain. Now, with the CBI projecting powerful institutional confidence and the government reinforcing the clear indicators of national economic strength, the dinar is rapidly transforming into a powerful symbol of national resurgence and self-determination. Citizens who may have previously expressed frustration are now articulating a clear and compelling sense of hope. Younger generations who grew up amidst narratives of economic difficulty are finally witnessing concrete reasons to believe in a prosperous national future. Families, educators, and workers are openly discussing the distinct possibility of utilizing a strong, internationally respected currency that authentically reflects the abundant wealth and potential of their nation. This emotional and cultural transformation, which is restoring dignity and belief in the national project, is arguably just as vital to the country's long-term success as the financial and technical changes occurring in the banking sector. The immediate next phase, as indicated by informed sources within Iraq's financial sector, is expected to involve a structured series of public awareness and educational campaigns. These crucial initiatives are specifically designed to smoothly guide the public through the forthcoming transitions, which will include the introduction of new physical banknotes, updates to digital banking interfaces, and the implementation of streamlined payment processes. Public education is recognized as a non-negotiable step for any major, systemic monetary reform. The government and the Central Bank of Iraq are intent on ensuring that every citizen fully comprehends the changes and, critically, knows how to confidently and safely navigate the new financial landscape. This public preparation includes essential instruction on how to correctly identify new currency denominations, practical guidance on utilizing updated electronic banking tools, and comprehensive information on how to actively avoid financial fraud during the transition period. Clear, proactive communication is the single most effective tool for preventing public confusion or panic, especially during times of significant financial change. The fact that Iraq is already preparing these detailed public campaigns is a strong and tangible indication that the final monetary transition is imminent. It powerfully demonstrates that the CBI primary focus is on ensuring stability and on empowering every Iraqi, regardless of their background, to step confidently into this new economic era. Among the most anticipated technical developments is the expected introduction of lower denomination banknotes. In contemporary, value-stable economies, smaller physical notes are the preferred medium for daily transactions, precisely because the currency maintains a stronger, more enduring value. Iraq's current functional reliance on larger notes is an economic artifact, a lingering consequence of years of prior financial instability and high inflation. However, should the dinar successfully strengthen as planned, the necessity for smaller, more practical bills will become immediate and unavoidable. Experts anticipate that the future denominations will be designed for greater portability, be simpler for daily use, and align more closely with established international currency standards. The transition to lower denominations will enable businesses to significantly streamline their daily cash handling operations, allow banks to manage physical cash flow more efficiently, and permit ordinary citizens to complete everyday purchases without the need for cumbersome, oversized notes. Although the Central Bank of Iraq has understandably maintained confidentiality regarding the exact designs or specific values of the new notes, The mere fact that they are now discussing this strategic transition publicly is definitive proof that the underlying technical and logistical process is already well underway behind the protected walls of the central bank and the mint. The single most dramatic and consequential moment in this entire process will be the public announcement of the new official exchange value. This announcement is expected to be conducted with extreme care, broadcast widely and transparently, and executed in seamless coordination with all major global financial platforms. The CBI explicit goal is to ensure that the transition is perceived as stable, professionally managed, and entirely transparent. Once the new value is released, it will instantaneously appear on the central bank's official website, on banking terminals throughout Iraq, and, critically, on international rate tracking systems utilized by financial institutions worldwide. The entire global financial community will be informed instantly. This inevitability is why numerous well-placed insiders continually stress that there is no need for the public to chase speculative rumors or unverified claims. When the fundamental, real change takes place, it will be absolutely unmistakable and impossible to miss. The Central Bank of Iraq has every incentive and is strategically prepared to ensure that the entire world is made aware of the change simultaneously and officially. This commitment to transparency is a cornerstone of building lasting international confidence in the revitalized currency and the nation's financial leadership. Part of what makes the current atmosphere so unique and compelling is the noticeable shift toward guarded silence among key government and financial officials. Historically, during the earlier phases of planning for major reforms, there were frequent and numerous leaks, open-ended discussions, and highly public debates. However, now, many of the individuals who were once openly communicative have become notably silent. This kind of widespread official silence is rarely accidental. In high-stakes financial operations, it typically indicates one thing. The work has transitioned from the phase of conceptual planning and debate to the phase of secure execution. It is highly probable that high-level policy decisions have already been finalized, that the necessary technical systems have been fully programmed and tested, and that the precise timing is now determined and secured behind closed doors. The government's paramount objective is a secure and stable transition, and sometimes that necessitates keeping the most sensitive operational details protected until the moment of the final official announcement. In this specific context, the pervasive silence is not a signal of delay or stagnation. Rather, it should be interpreted as a strong indicator of advanced preparation and impending readiness for implementation. In the meantime, the Iraqi population is embracing this unfolding sense of collective hope with genuine openness and widespread enthusiasm. Social media platforms are filled with hopeful and constructive discussions about the dinar's potential resurgence. Families are engaging in deep conversations about the concrete benefits a stronger currency could deliver for their children's future. University students are analytically examining the economic implications in their courses, and older citizens, who still recall the days when the dinar held significant international value, are experiencing a powerful and moving resurgence of national pride. For a great many Iraqis, this currency resurgence symbolizes far more than mere financial improvement. It represents a potent blend of national healing, undeniable forward progress, and a renewed sense of national unity and purpose. It embodies the powerful belief that Iraq is fully capable of standing confidently and independently within the highest tiers of the global economic arena. For the everyday citizens who endured years of crippling uncertainty and financial struggle, this deeply held belief is a powerful, unifying, and irresistible force that is driving public confidence. The collective faith in the dinar's future is transforming the national morale and setting the stage for a universally welcome change. Iraq's long and arduous journey to this specific juncture has been anything but simple. The nation has confronted and ultimately overcome profound challenges that would have defeated many other countries. Yet, time and again, Iraq has showcased remarkable resilience, bolstering its internal security, stabilizing its governmental structures, systematically improving its essential oil infrastructure, and, crucially, modernizing its fundamental financial systems. This dinar resurgence is the logical culmination of many years of difficult, focused, and persistent groundwork. It serves as a monumental symbol of Iraq's decisive move to reclaim full control over its own economic destiny and future. The international community is now fully acknowledging this undeniable progress. Prominent analysts abroad are perceptibly shifting their previous cautious tone. International investors who may have once hesitated are now paying extremely close and serious attention to the developments. Economists are openly discussing Iraq's potential to emerge as a significant regional power. All of these measured, positive reactions are a direct and proportional consequence of the Central Bank of Iraq's latest decisive announcement and the irrefutable, factual progress that Iraq has successfully achieved on multiple fronts over the last several years. The foundation is now complete and solid. As the nation looks resolutely forward, the essential message for all interested parties remains clear and simple. Stay meticulously informed, maintain patience and professional demeanor, and rely exclusively on official, verified updates from the source. It is crucial to reject rumors, disregard unverified claims, and ignore all forms of misleading or speculative information. When the Central Bank of Iraq is finally ready to disclose the final, critical details of the currency's new standing, they will issue the announcement with absolute clarity, publicly and officially. The public will not be required to search for answers in obscure corners. The definitive answers will come directly from the highest official source. When that momentous day arrives, the entire country and the global financial community will experience it concurrently. It will undoubtedly rank as one of the most historically significant events in modern Iraqi financial history, a moment that will redefine the nation's economic identity for decades to come. Before concluding, it is important to reiterate that this transformative moment transcends the mere technicalities of economics and currency rates. It is profoundly about national identity, collective pride, and the enduring belief that Iraq has the strength and will to emerge stronger and more resilient than it has ever been. The dinar's resurgence represents a clear and undeniable turning point, a pivotal moment when the nation collectively steps with renewed confidence into a promising new era. Whether observing these developments from within Iraq or watching from any point across the globe, the lasting impact of this profound and systematic change will be felt across borders and will resonate through generations. As today's critical news continues to circulate and gain traction, the positive energy only continues to intensify. The Central Bank of Iraq has issued its directive. The necessary structural reforms are actively underway. The people are filled with optimism. The sophisticated financial systems are fully prepared and operational, and the entire world is observing with keen interest. The dinar's comeback is no longer a distant or speculative concept. It is actively unfolding in real time, step by step, system by system, and announcement by official announcement. This is history in continuous motion. Therefore, keep your focus on the verified developments. Remain connected to the most reliable sources of official information, and prepare for the next phase of Iraq's economic evolution. The future of the Iraqi dinar is arguably brighter and more securely founded than it has been in many decades, and the momentum driving this change is only growing stronger with each passing day. The undeniable shock waves from the CBI authoritative announcement are not diminishing. They are expanding across the entire nation and reverberating globally.